Ian, sitting here next to this picture, it's almost like 1 year has passed. 2024 December, we are now here in 2025 December. The entire tour has been completed of the Freestyle Grand Slam Chess Tour. What's your emotions like right now?
Well, especially sitting with you, I think this is the last interview I'm giving this year, because it's like closing party. Yeah, it's already late. We're gonna go to bed soon, and tomorrow we're all gonna leave. So this is my last interview, and I did my first interview also with you with the tour. So that, I think, it's a very closing circle. And I really got to appreciate, especially your work, Saga, with your team is like absolutely amazing. Like, whenever you are just the most hardworking person, and your whole team, like, we have appreciated you so much all the time. And whenever I see also online, I see your videos, it's like really fantastic. So I'm very, very happy about this closing circle, that we are doing the final interview now. And yeah, my emotion is very tired, very relieved. You know, that like these tournaments are such big, you know, things. You know, they cost between $3 and $5 million to put on, and of course, the money has to be raised. You know, it has to be kind of like put to work, and so. And so every single day is like another day where I'm very glad when everything goes right. You know, some things can go wrong. There are little things like today we had a bird in the hall or something like that. But no, and in total it's like so many things can also go wrong. But I mean, the result of the tournament is a dream. I mean, it's perfect. Couldn't be better. You know, we have Magnus winning the tour, Levon winning the tournament, you know, Vincent becoming number 3, like Javokir is like up there. We have the young kids, like really tough, and they both are attributed to freestyle chess. They both personally and also from the public, they say, okay, they are basically a lot of what got them accelerated this year so far was freestyle chess, because Vincent was in the tour, he started at the beginning. We had Javokir as a replacement, putting him in. He was really killing it, like he was fourth already.
He chose Hikaru and then beat him.
Exactly. So, and now, you know, he won the World Cup. You know, we're just so lucky with everything. I'm just really, you know, I'm grateful that we are, you know, that we are also lucky with this thing. They're also talking about, you know, Hikaru replacement, like the first tournament in Go Challenge, when Magnus picked his opponents, and this was 2 years ago in Qatar. He said, I want to have Fabi and Hikaru and so on and so on. And then Hikaru just qualified for the candidates in 23. So he declined to say, sorry, but I want to prepare differently for the candidates, so I can't take part in freestyle. So we picked Gukesh, you know, of all people, right? So he was not really a big star at the time, right? And then he played freestyle, won the candidates against Hikaru, so obviously the preparation was maybe not good. And then, you know, so, and we had the world champion with us also. So like, and we had Ding Liren with us, you know, the whole is like, the whole year went so fast, but we had like so many great players, like, and the biggest crew of players, like in Las Vegas, 16 players, and even Bizarro is also here, you know, and I'm just so, you know, looking back at so many memories and so much stuff that has happened, so much bright colors, you know, talking about colors, like the jackets and everything is like, everything has worked out so incredibly well. I think we have put on the perfect season, which also is a challenge, because thinking about what we do next year, you know, we have to top it somehow. We have to do something different. It's like, we know this Czech, they have done this, it's very, in this fast-moving world, it's difficult. So we have to think of something new. And I'm right now, I need some rest. I need to tomorrow and weekend, a little bit of rest, just nothing. And then next week, I'm going to do really full power to see where we are bringing this ship somewhere. Because I certainly don't see in the next 10 years me running this thing, so I have to bring it to a safe harbor for somebody to take care of it. And there are several candidates right now. I'm looking for which way we're going. So I'm already looking for way ahead, but now it's time to really look back and enjoy. I mean, we are here, and just I'm so proud, like, of Henrik Carlsen just came to me and he just said during the dinner, he said, Jan, you brought so much joy to so many people this year. And that is for me heartwarming, because that's what I want to do. I want everybody to have joy. And if that's, I succeeded in, Holly and I, basically the whole team, I mean, Torsten, 85 people all together putting this show on every time. We want to bring joy to the people and we want to enjoy what we're doing and have fun. I think that's what we really have accomplished.
Wow. Yeah, and actually I was just interviewing Levon and we spoke about like many things about how this freestyle chess kind of has impacted him. And one of the topics was the prize money. Levon made close to $500,000 this year through freestyle chess. That is huge money.
Yes,
and
he just made today he made 250,000, and then like in July the last tournament he made 200,000, right? So it's 450, and I don't know what he gathered before, but sure he made $500,000 like in this year, right? And Magnus made like 800,000, with this tournament. So and also Vincent like 300 whatever thousand, Fabi 300,000. So we calculated together. We distributed altogether $4 million to the players. So like if you look at all the back ranks, because we're also distributing down the line. We are distributing money for the qualifications and for Freestyle Fridays and all this. If you add all this stuff up, it's like $4 million that we basically raised and distributed to the players. And that was also the original idea, to do something for the players, so that the players are the stars and the players are treated as superstars. Yeah.
And that actually remained constant throughout. Like right from the first event till the end, the players were treated so well. Every event was held in like a location that was so well done. I think that there were many things that freestyle chess pushed chess in a forward direction.
Yes.
But that must have taken a lot of effort and energy.
Yes. I really feel it. As I said, like in the beginning, first sentence, the main feeling I feel is very tired. I mean, anyway, I go to bed early usually anyway, like 9:30 or whatever, but I get up at 5. So it's like, I mean, I know you are as hard working at least as I know that you are always up. So, but in the evening I can't work anymore. I'm just like out of it. It's like the bucket is full of water, and if you put more water in, it just spills over. So I have to empty my bucket, and then in the morning I'm fresh for new tasks. Because of course, freestyle is not the only stuff I'm doing. I have a lot of other business on the side, so I still have to. It's weekdays, so it's not optimal. Also, this tournament here in South Africa, from timing wise, we did Monday through Thursday. We would love to do Friday to Saturday, Sunday, but it didn't work out with the other tournaments. So we have to arrange calendar. I just talked to Arkady Dorkovic about that. That we are, we're going to meet in Doha actually at the end of the month.
I was so surprised to see Arkady's message in the closing ceremony.
Yeah.
That just showed like there's a spirit of collaboration that's kind of brewing from both ends.
Dear friends, FIDE welcomes an ambitious initiative of the Freestyle Chess team to develop the chess format traditionally known in the global chess community as Fischer Random or Chess 960. The new brand has a potential to be a success story, and we are open to collaborate in a mutually beneficial way to that end. Congratulations to Jan-Henrik Buettner with the first season of the Freestyle Grand Slam, and to its winner, 16th world champion Magnus Carlsen. FIDE recognizes him now as unambiguous #1 in the world in this exciting version of chess. See you very soon in Doha at the FIDE World Rapid Blitz Championships.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, we reached out basically and said, okay, there's must be a way, because I had a great relationship with Arkady in January, February, and then all of a sudden it was kind of blocked, and we had a strange announcement, whatever. But I don't take anything serious personally or whatever. So it's like there was one side of the business. So now I think we basically have established ourselves independently, which I think is very important. And now from a position of strength and independence, we can say, okay, what are we doing together? Because I'm a harmonious search person, so I think everybody should get along. So there is a way, and even FIDE, Arkady, they have contributed also positively to our tour by, for example, one thing that Arkady was mentioning. is that we should have not like an invitation-only tournament, but a qualification. This is how the qualification spot came into the play, so that somebody can qualify for it. And seeing Parham, who's like has done the sweetest the confession booth ever, as like if you didn't watch it, like watch the confession booth of Parham, is like so heartwarming. And he basically said, although he kind of lost nearly every game, I'm glad he won one game and drew one game, but in the end he said, I want to qualify, I want to be part of the next event. So he takes on the challenge, and I think that's a great thing. And so we created something very special. And it's now the task to see how can we preserve this special thing, not having it diluted, not having it kind of repetitive, not having it kind of be destroyed by something, but taking this precious thing and making something great out of this.
But how do you do that? Like, for example, at first, when you began, it was a blank slate. You had this kind of thought that it should be like Formula One. You brought in all these innovations, these things, and now you reached a point where through the events, you cut out the things that were extra, right? You were always making it more efficient.
Yes.
And now this final event here was the most smooth one.
Yes.
In terms of, let's say, the spending, or in terms of the crew, in terms of the time format. I think everyone liked it.
Yes, exactly.
And now you are saying, like, we need to do something more, like...
No, I mean, and this, I think we created really the perfect formula right now, and we got a lot of criticism, I think very much also too strong maybe from Hikaru in Las Vegas, There was a point, yes, the format was not optimal, we had this upper bracket, lower bracket, 5 days, 16 players, it was all too much. But we learn, we don't say, oh yeah, this is the way, so this is why we changed it once again. And so somehow, it's always like in development, it's always the things go from the simple through the complicated back to the simple, somehow. So we are kind of arrived somehow back to the origination, because the original Go Challenge was also only 8 players, but we had 8 days of tournament. Now, for the next tournament, we will have only 3 days of tournament. This time we had only 4. We're even condensing it more. We're going to have the next step will be that the round robin will be the quarterfinal. So in the next time, all players who are not really very well with blitz chess or fast chess have to ramp, because you can be falling out of the upper bracket immediately after the round robin, because it's going to be top 4 for semifinals, and the top, because we're going to save one more day. We're also going to only do one content day, so we're going to have a very efficient tournament: arrival, content day, 3 tournament days, departure. So because before we had like 8 days of tournament, 2 content days, and so it was one like a 10-12 day event, and this of course very costly. So we are optimizing, and we are seeing what works and what doesn't work, and so I think we found the perfect tournament. As you said, it's very smooth. Everybody has fun. Also, like Magnus in Paris, he thought that it's enough to have 30 minutes rather than 90 minutes. I think it also works very, very well. Then in Las Vegas, we learned that the rapid is too much between the normal game and because then you have like 11-hour games with Fabi, like 2 and then rapid and then blitz and then Armageddon. So we cut that out. So we are immediately going to a blitz format. We have shortened the time for the games that are not so important. Game for 5th place, for 7th place, they don't have to play like so long. So all of this works out very well. And so what I'm saying is that we are basically in a transition phase, because it was in my head. Holly and I talked about it, how can we do it, and then we had Torsten implement the whole thing, but it had to be shown, because I couldn't have explained it to anybody, I had to implement it myself. But I never had the intention for the next 10 years of my life to become a chess tournament organizer, right? So that was just, I committed myself to 1 to 2 years. It's going to be, in June it's going to be 2 years, so I don't feel that I would be involved for much longer than maybe a few months as doing it. So I'm looking for somebody to take over the torch, in terms of, how to do this. But it also has to do with funding, because I also fund it out of my own money and raising the capital. So it has to be somebody who is backed by capital. And then taking the vision, taking it further. So that's kind of the task of the next weeks, to see how we can use this perfect tour to put it into something new. Because what I will not do, I will not start like a new tour a little bit and then you're somehow into it and it's fizzled out. I have the perfect package, and I want to see how can we find a great new home for this. And so I'm in talks with a lot of people right now, a lot of interest from different perspectives, and we see how this fits perfectly. And yeah, we have also great discussions with Magnus and some really very fun stuff that might come up, but that's maybe too early to tell.
You spent close to $25 million this year.
Yes.
The entire thing. As someone who is now into chess heavily, but comes from a background of entrepreneurship and so on, how do you see, how efficient was this spending of money and this creation of this asset, the Freestyle Chess? How do you look at it from an outsider perspective?
It really depends on what you do with it, right? Because these things take more time than you think and than you wish. So my wishful thinking, I'm always, first of all, I'm 61 years old. I'm always very early. I was in mobile communications in the 80s. And I had the vision of mobile communications at a time when people were calling houses to see if somebody is home. And people maybe very advanced were calling cars to see what. But the concept of people calling people was not there. Nobody understood it, People said, why would somebody call a person? Like, would you call would the husband call the wife at home and said, ask in the supermarket what he should buy? Yes, today he makes pictures. Shall I buy this salad? But the idea is not there. So when I talked about mobile communication in the 80s, people thought I was talking about two people walking the street while they're talking to each other, right? Mobile communication, right? So in terms of, and now with the chess is the same thing. So my head is always like very much in the future. So I'm like, okay, for example, with freestyle, I'm thinking if you look 20 years from now and freestyle is all over the place, they might look back and say, do you remember the times when they just had the one out of the 960 positions, they only played this one variant and they gave names to individual openings and so on? How ridiculous is that? Because you have not, how many names can you invent like for this kind of thing? So that's a vision that I have in the future. It might happen, it might not happen, but at least when I have a vision, then I have to also execute on it. And so the thing is that what I saw, I had to implement, and now it's there, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing it. So this is kind of the situation where we're in right now, in a transition phase, and finding somebody who, he doesn't have to have the same vision, but he has to see what can we do with this product now. And when you say, okay, is it what does it mean in sort of the monetary perspective? So it's like you have this asset, 25 million. So if you continue to go the way that I have done it, so we are in talks with a lot of sponsors, on the verge of like closing 7-figure deals, So that's one way to do 7-figure deals with like initial sponsors. We're talking crypto companies, finance companies, and so on. My original idea was to immediately get Louis Vuitton, Hugo Boss, the what you say, fast moving.
You also invited them to Paris.
Yes, they were there, they were interested, but again, I was too early, because they told me, yeah, it's fantastic what you're doing, but we are not the first to do this. We have to see other sponsors coming in. So first you have to go to the other sponsors.
Here we did see Duolingo and a few others coming in.
Exactly. We are having the first sponsors coming in. We have big ones lining up and the future. So that is a monetary thing where you basically see, okay, first of all, now this was our 7th event. We did the Go Challenge. We did Singapore. We did Weissenhaus Grand Slam 1, we did Paris Grand Slam 2, we did Karlsruhe, we did Las Vegas, now we did South Africa. So in terms of cost, the costs were rising. We had a 2 million cost for Weissenhaus, 3 million for the second Weissenhaus, because it was also higher prize money and higher professionalism with the commentary booth. We had like 4 million with Paris. We had 5 million Las Vegas, -1 because we got a sponsorship from, so same 4 million. But then here's like 3 million, and so Weissenhaus next, so it'll be down. So the cost will be down. Viewership is up from like initially 600,000 hours watched. Now we are at 1.2 million hours watched per the last 3 days. So if you like the cost per hours viewed is going down, so the economics is better on this. And so if once we now get the sponsors in, maybe even host city fees like interested cities, then you see us reaching event level profitability in 2026 and total profitability in 2027. That makes then, in addition, we are doing we are developing a great AI software right now about the prediction of different moves and so on. So that's, I think, also a point. So there's a lot of business models to be done around. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't feel the energy in me. I'm not a 25 or 30-year-old person who wants to do his career. I'm a 61-year-old short before retirement kind of person. So I can only hand this over and see if somebody sees it, then that's the way of pass it. But I built this 25 million asset, and so to see what somebody is doing, and I'm happy to be involved in an advisor role, in a board role, whatever, but not in the leading role as I have been doing for the last 2 years.
Amazing. I completely get it that a lot of things will happen next year, but in general, just looking back, which one would be your happy moment from all the things that you have done?
Yeah, as this has been put to me, the question like once today, so I know it now, because first of all, there are so many moments. I mean, like just this moment, like when I just talked about this chessboard. You know, we had some crew organizing, and they were responsible to put a chessboard there, and then of course the guy who was responsible suddenly when we were all the way up there was just like a big thing, like on Marina Bay Sands, you can't go just up. You know, it's like, oh, I forgot the chessboard. So as I'm experienced, I had my little plastic chessboard for like $10 from a supermarket. I had it in my. So I said, no, do we play with this? Because Magnus and Fabi, they were not willing to wait another hour for somebody to bring a chessboard up there. So these little moments, you know, I see them everywhere. It's like the whole thing. Similar like with Weissenhaus, I built every little detail, so I know all this. But from all of this, for me, the most joy I have when I see that something which I had in my mind as a vision, I see that it's happening. You know, that is like, and that the moment that I had it most, like in the recent history, like last week, was when we were on the rooftop of the Silo Hotel, and there was the underwater chess. Because I remember very well where Holly and I, you know, we are a lot at Silo Hotel because we're a lot in Cape Town. So, and we were on the rooftop, and there's this nice restaurant there, and they have this incredibly beautiful rooftop pool, infinity pool with a glass see-through with Table Mountain in the background and so on. And so then we were introduced to Ethan, who is also here right now, and he had invented this underwater chess. And we were just talking on the phone while I was on the rooftop. And I was saying, okay, let's do the underwater chess here. I mean, this is the best place. So we do underwater chess, right? So then that was one thing. Then the waterfront in Cape Town, there's a great shopping center, outdoor shopping center, indoor shopping center, and there's a like 500, 700 people stadium. Like I was thinking, okay, when we do it here in Grootbos, the event, there's not a possibility for people to watch it. So let's stream it back to Cape Town and have the audience there. So then maybe we have a grandmaster, maybe we have like, we have then VIDIT now. So to do this. And so these two things coming to reality, like last week when I was actually flying back to Cape Town just to be there for during the quarterfinals. I was just there for a few hours. I was enjoying it so much. I was sitting in the amphitheater with all these kids like from schools. They were like very excited, and I saw like Vidit, of course, is a superstar in India, and there are many Indian people here. So they were like, he was constantly giving autographs because people recognized him, and the radio host, the South African one. So that was, and I saw the stream from here, and I saw like all of our commentators that we have selected. That was one moment of joy. And then on the rooftop back again, like when the super grandmasters like Fabi and Hans and Javukir, they were like in the pool and doing this underwater chess. And I was thinking like, oh yeah, like half a year ago, of 9 months ago, we had this crazy idea, and now it's happening. So those are the moments that I enjoy the most. Yeah.
Beautiful. And lastly, I want to ask you, when an idea forms in your mind and you want to put it into motion, there are often a lot of hurdles that come in the way. It could be monetary hurdles, it could be lack of manpower. I mean, many things come out. How do you push through it? What is your advice to all the budding entrepreneurs out there who many times have these ideas but are not able to push it out?
Yeah, I mean it's a longer story. I've written even a book about it. You know, my little you have gotten the book, so that I explained it a little bit. But it's like first of there are a lot of things coming together. But basically it has to be when you have an idea and when you want to do something, you have to really want it. You know, if it's like, oh, I have an idea, it's like nice. Oh, I see this great invention, somebody has done it. For example, when in the US the Starbucks started, right? So it's like, oh, I had also a great idea to do coffee in America, yeah, but you didn't do it. So it's like the execution is a lot, because you can be sure that the same great idea is happening a lot of times at the same time in the world. But most people just have this idea and it goes away. So you have to commit to it, and you have to say, okay, now I'm going through, and so take the problems and the obstacles as challenges, you know, that you can cover. You know, it's like in a chess game. I mean, you are a great chess player, so it's like you're not shying away from a great chess game. It's a challenge, right? And the freestyle chess is a new position. It's a challenge. So it's like, okay, let's take on this challenge. So it's like, okay, there's money to be raised. Okay, let's do it. You know, let's go for it. If there's manpower to be needed, let's see. Let's find the best talent who can help us. You know, but you have to commit and really do it. This is why I'm saying I'm very happy and grateful that we have done the full season. I mean, it was like 2 years of work, 1 year's preparation, like from October 23 until November 24, and then from November 24 and now December 25 is the execution of the tour. But I know that to go the next step, to really take this asset and monetize it and bring the value, like from wherever the company value is, like being at 40, 50 million or whatever, being it to 500 million or whatever. It's possible and it's doable and the challenges are there, and I know what could be done, but I'm not willing, really not willing, because I've done so much things in my life to really put on the effort. There have to be other people, younger people, engaged and take this asset and bring it to the next step.
But you think it's possible?
It is, absolutely. I mean, it's 100% sure. I see it already. It's like similar, like, please don't challenge me to say, oh, well, then show me, because I will not do it. But it is absolutely possible, and it's not even only possible, it's very likely that if you follow this path, you just collect the money and you will create a huge asset, which will not only be worth like 50 million, but 500 million, maybe even a billion. So it's just a matter of execution.
Wow. Well, Jan, thank you for your time, and thank you for this interview, and a huge congratulations to both you and Holly for what you guys created with Freestyle Chess.
Thank you, Shaka. Thank you very much.
I have with me the co-founder of Freestyle Chess, Holly. Hi, Holly.
Hello, Shaka. It's so nice to have you. You've done such a wonderful job at any single stop of our tournaments, and I'm so glad to be here with you.
Thank you. And we've been, going through this freestyle journey since now almost 2 years.
Oh, yes.
It was 2024 Feb. When
Yes.
the GOAT Challenge happened in Weisenhaus. Those were early days,
Exactly,
your first
yes.
chess event that you guys organized. And now, at the end of this entire tour, you must have become a pro at chess.
I think I've become a bit more of a pro at chess, but especially I think it was a big learning curve at organizing chess events. I actually I really, really in this interview want to thank all the players and the team and the content creators, your whole team who's been with us for such a long time and who's done an amazing job and has always been super nice, so helpful, so amazing, so excited about everything. And it was just great to have you.
Thank you. We've actually experienced things in this entire tour which were very different and very new to the world of chess. Especially those things where, these jackets, which were the innovation, the high level of production, very beautiful venues and places that were held. You yourself would have followed the other chess events that happen across the calendar here, and then this one. It's been different.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to be different. We're trying to be a little bit of a breath of fresh air in a world of chess that has done everything for the same way for quite a long time. And I just have to say, I love this project. We really live for this project at this point. Freestyle has just been super, super great for us. It's just brought this amazing team together, so many people meeting, and we're just trying to show this idea of having chess in these settings, giving it the stage that it deserves, giving it the production it deserves as well. And I'm especially proud of this one because I think we've learned from the past, we've learned in every single Grand Slam, we've learned something, we've added some things, we've thrown out some ideas, and the progress I'm just very, very proud of. I'm super proud of the team, and I just I couldn't be more happy. Of course, I am relieved it's over. I can finally breathe, but I can't wait for the next season, for new learnings, for new beginnings, for new exciting matches, and to see you again, the whole team.
You said it very precisely and correctly that the final event here seemed like everything fell into place, right? From the production to the format,
Yes.
to every particular thing. I mean, of course, the results and how the players would play is not in control, but everything apart from that just seemed like so smooth here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's such a learning curve, and I hope that you also see it, that it was quite a steep learning curve, especially for this event. We've tried our best to make this production as high quality wise as possible, and we've had the team has grown together, and we now very much know. Oh, there's a bee. Hello. You can just go away, please don't sting me. and this is just such a dream come true to have the finals here in South Africa, to have made it through the whole year with amazing tournaments, amazing people, amazing storylines from everywhere around, and we've learned a lot of things. We've learned so much about the chess world. We have now, for example, this time we practiced the prize ceremony a lot more. We were a lot better with timing. We were a lot better at handling people, wishes, everything more properly. Because, I mean, at the first time, it was Jan has these amazing big ideas, and then he throws them onto us, and then we just try to figure it out, and I think we've gotten better and better at it, and that is just what freestyle is all about.
Yeah, even here we saw like one of the big innovations. Like, it could be a small thing, but at least in chess I never saw drones actually shooting.
Yes.
And there was drone footages in live stream.
Yes.
Not in post production. So that already was a very wonderful step,
Exactly, and I think in such a beautiful place like this, you cannot not have drones. Honestly, it is just heaven on earth, and I hope you enjoyed it. You got a whole tour of the property. I watched all of it. And
you saw it.
Yes, of course I saw it. I watched your videos. Yes.
It was actually brilliant. I mean, how did you guys select this place? Because, you live in South Africa, right? You guys have a place like 4 hours away from here.
Yes.
How did you select Grootbos to be the place?
So it's been, Jan has been long time friends with Michael, the owner, and we've always had an amazing relationship with him. And we told him about this chess format, and he got super excited. He even, for his foundation, he bought a lot of chess boards too, because for a long time he has done this foundation. He has taught people sports, he's done courses with kids to get into biology, to get into experiencing the fine balls and going to conservation. And now we also have a chess edition of that, which is absolutely wonderful.
There was a simul at the start.
Yes, there was a simul at the start. I absolutely loved it. All the kids being so super excited about what was happening, meeting the superstars. And it was also a lot about finding out that the major chess players, the super grandmasters, they've never been to South Africa. They've never experienced this beautiful country with all it has to offer, and with all the excitement there is for chess here as well. And it can fulfill a person's dream. It can give them motivation just to see and to play their super grandmasters. They are all super fans here.
Amazing. And Holly, for you, chess was not like the main thing in your life 2 years ago, but it took over. You did so many things related to it, so many things behind the scenes you must have done. If you could share with us like some of the things that challenges you faced that you guys overcame, some learnings, if you can share through this entire journey of organizing events in Weissenhaus, in Paris, in Las Vegas, Grenke, and now here in South Africa. Also the Singapore event, which we shouldn't forget, was like so special and different. What would those be?
Oh, the learnings. It's so hard to reflect right after you finished an event because there's just so many emotions. I think the biggest learnings in our perspective are that the efficiency of a tournament and what you need and what you don't need, and also you see more and more who is good at what and also how helpful everyone is. I mean, so many people are multi-talents in this world and they can do so much and not just play chess. We've gotten to know everyone so well, and I mean, it's insane how intelligent everyone is and how to handle the people, because everyone has their personality, and when you meet them first, you don't realize what they're thinking and how to handle them best. And now we're on a very good road, and we all become very good friends, I think. And we've just loved getting into this world, and we've been trying to make the chess world a better world as well, with just doing a project that is close to our heart, because we just love. Jan loves inventing new things, and he's a perfectionist, and I think I'm the side of a perfectionist, and I like great people. And his love of great ideas and my love of great people, also like you, very much work together in this regard.
That's so wonderfully put. Great ideas, great people coming together. I also saw in the closing ceremony there was a message by the FIDE president that came out of the blue. That was a surprise. It also showed the spirit of collaboration.
Yes.
It was very nice.
I think we've also been in favor of collaboration, and there's been lots of things happening, and I think there's been some miscommunication. I think it's also just not easy. FIDE is a big organization and there's different interests in it. And then you just try to figure it out together in the end, and I'm glad we're on a good path with that again.
Brilliant. And I know that it's too soon to say, but just on top of your head, 2026, what do you foresee? Would it be another tour? Would it be new ideas? How do you see it?
I think we're just trying to lock down on the ideas, and the tour will be amazing. We are already working hard with the team. Nothing is out yet about it, but we'll try our best. We'll try to learn from everything, or even from this event, and then we'll go forward from there.
Brilliant. Well, Holly, thank you so much for all that you guys have done to push chess ahead.
Thank you.
In different ways, and I hope that Freestyle 2026 will be just as exciting as this year or even more.
Yes, I hope even more. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you.